Hello, this is Chris, ZL1CVD, and today I'd like to talk to you about a new feature for CatTouch7USB called CatTune. So we get to this new feature with the latest firmware. We download the latest firmware from the website, catmeters.com. Down the bottom of the page is a link to their latest firmware for your CatTouch7USB, and just follow the instructions there. You'll need a Chrome or a Edge browser to do the update, but it's very easy, and that's via the internet. Anyway, so once we get to the update up and running and the screen's all running like this, click on the SWR screen, and you'll notice now that if you've done any prior SWR tests, that they will automatically load on this. The plots will show on the screen, which was a feature that I needed to update on the CatTouch7USB. But we now have a new button called CatTune, and the purpose of CatTune is that for antenna tuners like the FC50, which are connected to the FT-891 via Cat control, it enables the tuner to, well, enables CatTouch7 to automatically tune right across the band to ensure that we have a flat SWR response. Now this purple one that I've done here, that you can see here, this purple plot was our last plot that we did, and we can see that we had a high SW at this point, and we need that flattened out. So we simply press CatTune, and what that will do is that will retest the SWR and determine where it needs to retune the transceiver, and then fire off the tuner to program the tuner's memory on that particular point. So we can see that our response is pretty poor here, and we need to do something about it. So we'll carry on ripping through the rest of the 40 points that it's doing for its test, and it will proceed with the CatTune function. I should also point out that date and time on this is not correct, and there's a good reason for that. The FT-891 does not have a clock in it. Okay, so what happened then was it found the frequency that it needed to do a tune at, and it automatically set the transceiver onto that frequency, and it initiated a tune sequence. So we can prove that just by hitting the test again, and this retests the plot so we can see what's happening. And hopefully now, after we've done that retune, we should be completely flat across the band response. And why would you want to do this? Well, if you're in a POTA or a SOTA or a field operation or at home and you're changing your antenna, you'll get a slightly different response. Well, you see we've tuned here, but not there. So we will do another CatTune after this. So as I was saying, if you're at home and you're changing, or on the field and you're changing your antenna, you'll find that the antenna's performance is different across the band that you're on. Now, okay, we can see this yellow line. So by having a feature like CatTune, it effectively saves your time having to go and retune every spot on the band that you intend to operate on before you operate on it. You basically go and set yourself up, set your antenna up, make sure all the connections are all set up, come on here, test, do a CatTune. It will rip across the band. Anything that needs tuning, it will tune. And as we can see here, it found that point, came up with the orange. Now once it gets to the end, it should tune into this frequency here and retune it. There we are, 21.19125, it's retuned it. So if we do another test, we should see a flat response. Now we can store up to 8 prior plots. As we can see, as we're approaching it, the response is going to be, we're going to need one more CatTune on that point. So we can stop it there, and we can go hit CatTune again. Depends on the band. If the band is quite wide, you may need to do this several times, but it still saves time on having to do it for every single point across the band. So that's a handy new feature for the CatTouch 7 USB. And of course, this is, if you've got a CatTouch 7 USB, these features are added. There's no additional charge for these. This is just part of owning it. As I come up with improvements, I post the firmware updates for all to see and have. So if you've got any great ideas, let me know. And we should come back and retune that point. And if we run another test, we should see that the SWR is flat as we've narrowed it down. What I've found with the CatTune is if there's 4 or 5 different points on the plot, it works very well. There's a bit of interaction with the memory on the tuner. The tuners can be quite narrow. Then as we see, we've gone past that point now, we're getting our flat response. So to delete there's no delete function in here to delete prior plots. The way to do it is there's a file on the SD card loaded in here, which you just delete. The file name is .swr. Now, to get the date correct, because there's no clock in here, we need to go into the log screen, and we have a date field here that we can update our date and time with. But if you're going on a field operation, you'd probably set that screen up. We're taking this with you because you want to log your contacts as you go. And of course you can log your contacts. You can create, there's another video that goes onto the log screen anyway. But the purpose of this video was to talk about CatTune. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video, and if you enjoy my products and want to know more about future updates that I do for the CatTouch 7 USB, please subscribe. Thank you.